Okay, welcome everybody. Holy smokes, what an interesting time it's been. Okay, so if you didn't see in my message, this is the first recording that is going live from the new space in Quebec. And things are all over the place in here, so it's going to be a bit wonky, I think, and that's okay. It's kind of the theme of being able to stay the calm within the storm. And that's really what this whole period's about. It's about being able to just be in your center, get centered and stay centered regardless of what's going on. This is so strange because I can't see you. Oh my Lord. That's all right. Okay, so it's the day after this Pluto enters into Aquarius. And this is being recorded on the 20th of November, and it is a monumental transition. You've probably been seeing it all over the internet, and so many people are talking about why this is so significant. And it's been significant for me personally, but I'm quite sure it's going to be significant for you as well. And so today I want to bring a little bit of clarity to what you may have been experiencing over the last few days in particular, but even as far as the last couple of weeks, and what you may be feeling right now, because this is a doozy. And yes, sleep is definitely a part of it. So if you've been sleeping more than normal and kind of questioning why, we'll talk about that. Okay, so instead of having my notes on the computer like I normally do, I am just putting a few things together on paper. So we're winging it. So this is the new space, guys. We're in the middle of a build. We're literally building this new place. I'd say from the ground up, but we've got a shell. So very much in the theme of what's been happening cosmically, there is an entire rebirth happening. And I know not just for me, but for me, you can see it's pretty evident, right? Down to the bare bones, down to, the shell of who we are, and then building the new from there. And that's literally what's been happening in my own world. So just quickly, I'll mention for those of you who have been following me and have been, hearing the remnants of this big move that's taking place, this is where we're at. So talk about Pluto, right? Diving deep to see what's under there, what's the truth, what's at the core. Well, we're here at our core, and in a sense, in order to get here into this new space, we had to let go of so much, and that's the other theme of Pluto. It's really letting go. It's deep purging of things that no longer serve you, of things that aren't in resonance with who you really are, and being able to provide a platform for a complete rebirth. So it's interesting to be going through this. So coincidence? I think not. The first sleep and then waking up, our first, let's say, morning breath of new air in this new space took place on November the 11th. So the 11/11 gateway, which wasn't so long ago, guys. Can you think back to where you were just on that day? And this 11/11 portal is literally one on one side, one on the other, walking you down the aisle to what will be your next new life. So for us, it was very literal. Waking up in this new space, looking out the window, opening our eyes and seeing towering pines, seeing a glorious sunrise, feeling a completely different energy and going, my God, this is really happening. Right? And that's happening for all of us. It doesn't matter what anybody may tell you. Oh yeah, it's life as usual. It's not life as usual. Our entire human race, the entire planet, every single nook and cranny is under an entire rebirth process. It looks different for all of us. And so as we go through this conversation, I'd like you to just think about what it is that this may relate to in your own life, what's standing out for you, but we're all going through it. So if you're looking on social media, you're speaking to your friends or your neighbors or family members and feeling like, am I the only one that's having a bit of a tough go? Is it just me that's feeling like I'm under the pressure of so much right now and so much is changing? You're not alone. Okay? All right, so as I was sitting down to take notes for what I was being asked to share today, there was a phrase that came through right away. To be honest, I don't even remember it. I'm going to look at my notes and see exactly what it was, but I know the theme. Okay. If you haven't yet made the quantum leap in your life that you have been wanting to make, this is your chance. So that set the tone for everything that came forward afterwards as I was preparing for this live, because it is so, so true. Energetically, quantumly, everything, cosmically, all things are lining up for you to be able to make this massive change. Type in the chat or raise your hand virtually for yourself, if for nothing else. Do you feel like there is more that you could be doing? Do you feel like time is passing you by, even a little bit? Not everybody's having this experience, but there are many people who are feeling like, damn, I'm okay, I like where I'm at, and I know I can be doing more. If that's you, that is the call of what's happening now. This is what this very particular blending of energies and cosmic alignments is bringing up in us right now. We're in this window just before we go into 2025, which, as we've talked about before, is the very first year that we're all playing in the organic third dimensional reality, which many people find that a little bit confusing. You could say it's 5D, but it's a little bit different than that. But it's the first year that we get to play out in this time-space reality here on our planet, our beautiful planet, in a way that is not polarized and as not of the old paradigm. It's all about freedom, it's all about truth, and it's all about being able to let go of those things that suppress that for you and step into your freedom. And much like the topic or the title of this particular live stream is implying, have the freedom to live your dream. No more do you have to be sitting around wondering, when is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my chance? When am I going to finally get all those ducks lined up in a row so that I can feel like I've got traction, I've got momentum, and I'm going for it? This is that time. So this is like this, it's like you're pre-paving that period. So you're not necessarily running yet, but you are in this phase of getting those ducks in a row. And yet what's different about this time is now we have the energetic support. Now we have the energetics within us. And that's where all of these upgrades coming from, the 1111 gateway, from this Pluto entering Aquarius. There's been so much streaming in, whether or not you've been aware of it. There is so much happening at a cellular level, at a DNA level. Things are being activated and turned on so that this can now finally happen. And I know it sounds kind of frou-frou, like, oh yeah, the freedom to live your dream, but it's very much real. We came here as souls, incarnated into these beautiful bodies that we have, in order to play out so many different exciting, wonderful, playful themes. And yet we have felt very restricted because of the different programs, belief systems, conditioning, everything that comes with this very polarized reality that we've been playing in. And yet the intention was to break through all of that and open up and break free into our true, authentic expression. And so that's where this restlessness comes from. That's where this feeling of maybe like feeling a little unsatisfied with where you have been as of late, or frustrated of repeating patterns of either your own behavior or patterns of experience. Oh my gosh, and I'm watching a wasp walk on the wall in front of me. We have wasp medicine. But going back to this, there is nothing now standing in our way as we go into 2025 to be able to start living those dreams. The only thing that stops us, or that old adage, right? The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Couldn't be more true and more real right now. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah? Okay. First of all, I just want to say also, I'm so happy to be here with you. Oh my goodness. Over the past several weeks, clearly, we've had a lot going on, construction-wise. We've had a lot going on in our lives of like making choices, making decisions on like, what are we getting rid of? What do we want to do? But alongside that, there has been so much talk about what do we want to create? And so this is something that if you want to take advantage of this window of time right now, this is where our thoughts also need to be focused. We're in a heightened, creative, potential, very potent window where the things that we start to conjure forward in our minds and in our hearts in particularly is what we're going to start to birth as we move forward. So being in a space like this where it's like completely bare, right? For the most part, we have some of our stuff in here, but it's a blank canvas. It is really bringing forward so many opportunities to literally sit there and envision. But what do you do if you're not in a space like this? It is just, every second, everywhere you turn is just like calling and begging for creativity. It's like, okay, what do you want? What do you want to do? Right? Like these holes here, what you see over there, can you see those? Those are where I envisioned skylights to go. I want to be able to see the sky, see the stars, see the sun coming through. And so now every time I look at that, I envision and I see this finished surface. What do you see when you look in the mirror? What do you see when you look around? What do you want to create? And so during this time, one of the things that I'm going to invite you to do, and this is one of those three things, one is to decide what it is you want. Now, if you have worked with me for any amount of time, you know that one of the things that I say often and really mean it is, despite what anybody else thinks, despite what anybody else may say, who you may feel you are offending, who you may feel you are not being loyal to, not putting them before you. Aside from all of that stuff, those stories, what do you really want to be doing with your life? Forgetting about other people's expectations. What do you want to do? And I know this isn't New Year's yet, but this is kind of like a preparation for it. So I'm trying to plant these seeds and help you plant these seeds yourself by starting to open your mind to thinking along these terms, because the days and the weeks are going to move very quickly right now. We're in a really interesting period. But it starts with knowing who you want to be, what you want to feel, what you want to experience. And if all of that sounds overwhelming, then I will encourage you, just pick the one thing. What do you want to feel? And that can be the catalyst for everything else. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Hey, Tammy. Hey, sister. Let me see here. Oh my God. You made the live. Oh, sister. Welling. Yes. Tammy, I know that I'm cutting myself off, but that's okay. I know that you went through a move as well. So Tammy just moved recently. How many people are like in the presence of like people moving, or you yourself are moving? Oh, sister, it's so good to have you here. Thank you. I know it probably was a lot. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to. Sorry, I can only see you when I look here. So I know you're not right there, but this is where I can see. So my sight line's going down. Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure I was going to make it either, so this is exciting. All right. Tammy says, your house looks so good. I can see the A-frame coming together. Yeah! Do you see one thing that's familiar? This plant. this plant. Yes, this beautiful, beloved plant. This was the plant that would sit behind us every time I would do a live. And today's the first day that she has made it up the stairs. So thank you for being here, and it is so exciting. I share your feelings of moving and spaciousness, so I look forward to hearing more about your move. And does all of this resonate? Like, you guys that are watching, does this resonate with you guys? Yeah, okay. Let me know. Let me know how this idea of really planting the seeds for what you want to create now. It feels like it's a bit early, doesn't it? I think it feels like it's a bit early. But the reality is it's going to come super fast. And when you're in a new space, like Tammy is, like I am, anybody else in a new space? Anybody else feeling like you're still in the same space, but you're ready to create something new in your space? Something else I'm going to give you. If you are feeling like making a change in anything, do it. Don't do it later. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. These are words that I picked up from a mentor of mine, more of a business mentor, the beautiful Eileen. Do it now. And my goodness, if we would just catch the inspiration and do it now, we would move mountains. So I've kind of made that an adage of my own. But if you are wanting to see some shifts in the easiest, most joyful way possible, when the inspiration comes, especially now, do it now. Whatever it is, just do it. Just do it. I'm trying to give you an example of where I did this today. Okay, so here's an example. I can't show you downstairs, but we have, I set up these rolling racks, and this is the way that we are living through this construction phase. So we have our belongings on these big metal racks that are not mounted to the wall. They're not sitting on the floor. They're on basically on wheels. And so anytime there's a contractor that's coming in to do electrical work, okay, where are they working? I pull all the stuff off the wall and they literally just roll around. So it's easy to do that, yet you get comfortable with where you have your things. Like, here's where we have all our spices or all of our cooking stuff, and over here's where we have all the stuff for the front door. So Brian and I were saying today, gosh, we really want to get back into more of a steady workflow. So we were kind of joking about it would be great to like put all of this stuff completely aside for a little bit and just focus on correspondence or client work, blah, 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 for X number of hours. And I kind of laughed because I was like, you know, that's not how it works, right? We have to get the inspiration of all the things we do, and we do what comes forward first. And then the other things all fall into place and everything gets taken care of. Brilliantly, really. So this morning, I kept getting the inkling like, man, I just want to roll that shelf that's on one side of the chalet, roll it to the other side because it's driving me nuts seeing it. AKA, that's the inspiration coming through to just do it, just do it. Why? My mind is saying, why do that now? You've got so many other things to do. Why waste your time on that now? You can do it later. But everything in my body was like, can we just move that shelf from over there to this side of the room where it's going to be living? So I finally said, okay, I'm just going to roll this shelf over here from here to there. So we rolled it over. I rolled it over. Brian helped me. And then immediately after that, we both noticed this completely different energy shift in the room because it opened up this space. And suddenly our shoulders dropped. We both felt, well, that looks better. That feels better. Had I not listened and just done it and continued to just plow through the thing that I should have been focusing on, according to my mind, I would still be feeling that resistance, that unsettled, that ungrounded, that not pleased, not satisfied with the way things are in this moment, not from a place of like complaining, not satisfied, but just from this pull, this nagging desire coming through and ignoring it. So this was a soul inspiration saying, hey guys, listen, just move that over here. You're going to notice a really big shift. You can't tell right now, but if you just do that, trust me, it's going to feel great. And what also ended up happening, as the shelf moved, and I'll post a picture later, this stuffed animal toy that is Theo's toy got stuck on the ceiling, and now it looks like there's this stuffed animal flying through the air. And what we ended up doing was laughing our heads off. So it was a tense moment before we moved the shelf. I decided, screw it, I'm moving the shelf anyways. We felt the shift, looked up, saw this, what looks like now, a flying commando stuffed animal, and we broke out laughing. So the entire mood lifted, and this beautiful, beautiful orchestration took place where we got to feel a lot of joy, a lot of fun, and then everything else after that just unfolded seamlessly. We both slipped right into work. Stuff got done faster than normal with more ease, and just we got to enjoy the space and see a new view that actually made us feel really, really good. So do it now. Don't ignore that inspiration. Do it now. Okay, Tammy, I see you shared a bit here. Let's see. Oh, no, you already shared that. Okay. Tammy, you actually move on Sunday to a room rental and feel I could take off at any moment through to somewhere that I don't even know yet. Oh, yeah. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. Sorry guys, we have our Starlink up. Thank you, Elon, but it's not in perfect position yet, so it may cut out a little bit. All right. You bring up an amazing point. So there's also this sort of sense, I was going to ask you guys, do you feel like you're kind of in a little bit of a void? Let me fix my hair. Like a little bit of a not quite done yet, not quite ready yet, but I need to move anyways, like a feeling of unknowns, a feeling of like, the best word I can bring is void. You guys feeling any of that? Yeah, so this is part of it. And it's kind of like, and what I'm getting now is it's kind of like the inhale before the exhale. And so there's not a lot, like you're bringing in a lot with the inhale, but there's kind of an apprehension with that inhale. There's more tension when we inhale, right? Because we're forcing something into the body, into the lungs. And then on the exhale is where we land. The exhale is when we come down, where we have the clarity, where all of that starts to come in. It's also where we release things too. So I feel you, sister. Yeah, Tammy says yes. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Well, it's an exciting time. Now, let me just take another look here, because I know that we are, all right, we're already at 3:30. But there's one more thing that I wanted to mention. Okay, so as far as last point about the 11/19 Pluto entering Aquarius, okay? It started on this 11/11 Stargate, this portal. We're really being fed through the eye of the needle, okay? But it's what it's offering to us as we go further and further into the energy of 2025 is like the freedom to live your dream, but you have to be of the frequency of that dream in order to kind of walk through your own personal heaven's gate, right? So in order to walk through the gates are now there. They're available. They are ready for us. It's just us getting ready to walk through them. Does that make sense? What's holding us back is our resonance with our personal gates to our personal heaven. So in order to get our frequency in resonance with that, we have to let go, dissolve, dismantle what's standing in the way. So if you'd like some homework, these are the 3 things that I highly recommend you start doing, okay? We talked a little bit about them. The first one is to spend some time exploring, okay? And this involves going inward, and Pluto's influence is helping us with that, is a desire to slow down, a desire to get a little quiet just for a few moments, and think about what has been standing in my way. In your heart of hearts, you know. So if we can get quiet enough, start asking those questions, okay? If you need help with that, let me know. We can always do some work together to explore what it is that is standing in the way. What are these patterns that you keep noticing coming up over and over again? So take some time and explore what is standing in my way. What do I find myself constantly coming back to? And this is coming back to like that idea of like, if you want that quantum leap in your life, in one area, 2 areas, 3 areas, all areas, and you haven't had it yet, and you feel like, oh my God, I came here to have this massive quantum leap, you're right. And just think about, what is it that's standing in your way? Get quiet, have a pen and paper handy, and just write down what comes through. Don't judge it. Don't think about it. Don't think. Think less, feel more. I was talking about this with a client this past week on one of our calls. Think less, feel more. What comes in, the first thing that comes in, write it down. What do you think's holding you back? Okay, the next thing is, what do you really want? We talked about this, right? So spend some time feeling into that. What do you really want? Don't worry about what other people may say. Please listen to that, especially the people closest to you. If they don't appreciate what you are going through, that's okay. It's not their job to do that. Okay, connection's back. Amazing. And the third thing is, find your tribe. If you don't have your tribe, if you don't have anyone outside yourself who can share this journey with you, find your tribe. So Aquarius is so much about community. It's about groups. It's about getting together. It's about collaborating. But it's really about community and groups. And I know our small group is about to start growing very soon. If you don't have a group, if you don't have a community to share this journey with, find one. If you're interested in ours, please feel free. Knock on the door. It is now going to be open to men and women. We'll have all kinds of interesting things to do together and play together in there. But you have to find community, right? It doesn't have to be big, but you have to find community. It's time to get out of solo, out of being isolated. And even if you live in, like where we are, it's quite rural, right? It's a small community. But we're in community and we connect online, don't we? Yeah, we do. So find your tribe. Find people that are speaking your language, that you can feel like, I don't know if I get it all, but I'm just feeling. That's your signal from your soul self that you are starting to hone in on or connecting with those people that are resonant with you. Why? Because this journey is not meant to be taken alone. If you can be in person, great. If you can't, it doesn't matter. There is entanglement. We connect. We connect however we need to in any moment. So number 1, explore what is holding you back. Number 2, what do you really want and want to create? And number 3, find community. And if you're really, really shy or afraid to do this, make it your goal to just like go to your local coffee shop. Just go, get outside, connect. See a new space. See new faces or see old faces. Just start connecting. Start coming out of your shell and just start to connect with other people. There's going to be a lot of this moving forward. just connecting, seeing where we all fit together. Okay? Any questions, any comments, please feel free to leave them. This is just the beginning. This is the first one we have done here in this space, and I'm super excited. It was kind of janky, I know, but it's all good. And thank you for being here with us if you're here live. Would love to hear from you. Would love to know what's going on in your world. How is all of this relating to you? How are you feeling? What's going on? Are you kind of on a similar page as what I've been describing here, as what Tammy's sharing, what we've been sharing together on this call? If it's something different, love to know. Either way, thank you for being here. Get ready for another bang week. It's going to be big, and I look forward to seeing you again next week and getting back to our rhythm of really connecting as our community and being able to share what means most to us. Love you guys dearly. Hey, Joey. Thanks for being a great teacher. A lot resonate. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it did. And I'm not surprised. We are on the same field, playing field, and energetic field, no doubt. So, all right, guys, have a beautiful rest of your day. Tammy, Joey, it was beautiful seeing you here, and the others that we didn't really get to see your faces or get to hear your comments, but we saw you there live with us, and I'm sending you so much love. All right, bye for now. Bye, guys.